Hello, my darlings. There's Madam Tilly, here with my good old friend Bud Bear. At least I think he still goes by Bud Bear.
Yes, I do. It is me, the bear, who's also everyone's buddy or something.
And welcome to the Waifu Tavern Frequency. Today, we are, well, it's a very special month in all of our hearts. The month of Pride. June. Where the gays get to roam free. More louder than usual. Wishing all you, phobes a very uncomfortable month. And, yeah, I don't care if you call it virtual signaling or whatever, but, I like to play, for June, I like to, pause what playthroughs I got on stream, and, let's do some LGBT games. And, to my shock, a lot of people don't know about a lot of LGBT games. And, my friend, I could probably much start one of those Steam curator groups. I know so many.
Oh, damn, that would be pretty cool. I mean, sitting here, I think I've got a decently deep pull with Boyfriend Dungeon.
You'll be educating me on that one. And there's also a couple websites, a couple like database type websites that have maybe like thousands of entries, but that also includes like very old, obscure like indie games, in various states. But then these sites, they're good for research, but some of them are they add them to the list for like a very vague reason, like the shopkeeper NPC is suspected of being bi. It's like, okay, that's very reaching. Like, nah, we're talking about games where you could tell, or you can be gay, or the main character is.
If you're reading that far into things, then you could probably say that Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet is gay if you're playing a male character, because Itsuki is incredibly, yaoi coded with a male protagonist. But despite the female love interests not changing any of their lines based on you playing a woman, which is what I think the intended experience is because of Itsuki.
Yeah.
You could genuinely say it's a bisexual game because of that. Because, Itsuki has clear romantic interest in the player regardless of gender. He's your fucking saddest, wettest cat, yandere boy. Hacker boy. But, the two main love interests in the game are the same level of attraction to the protagonist explicitly, if they're a man or a woman.
Oh, yeah.
Which,
that's how relationships should go,
Yeah. I did figure out, explicitly why you're not allowed to date any of Kirito's harem, even though a bunch of them express explicit attraction to your character. And that's because the three original characters the game focused around are over 18. Not super far over 18. I think Kureha and Zeliska are 21, and your protagonist is the same age. But that would make dating a bunch of 16-year-olds real awkward.
Yeah, I don't know. Sure, it's normal in Japan, but anyways, we're not here
no,
about...
actually,
oh yeah.
The Japanese age of consent thing everyone talks about is akin to it's akin to America's Romeo and Juliet laws. Prefecture age of consent overrides federal age of consent there, if both parties are over 18. And prefecture age of consent is never below 18.
Okay. Alright, but let's, we're not really talking about age and lollies and stuff like that. We're just talking about games that LGBT themes or romances. Basically are very queer coded.
I just remembered Remember the one good Sword Art Online game,
Ah, okay.
and how it might be accidentally gay because like you don't change lines based on your gender. That was too much work.
Huh. I can see that. Oh man. And I'm just gonna mostly talk about games that I can that I know of. Like there's some on here like I haven't played, so I can't confirm the gayness of the.
No.
Um, like for example, I hear the main protagonist of Near Replicant is trans, but I haven't played it, so I can't confirm.
I know one of the characters is explicitly intersex.
Nice.
I forget her name. I haven't played Near Replicant, but it's the girl in the skimpy dress.
Okay, that doesn't narrow it down much, but probably the main character Kanye or whatever.
Oh, I thought the main character was Near.
I don't know.
I haven't played it, but
Yeah,
it's
same.
like one of the party members.
Yeah, I said could tell you. Now we're going to play Near.
No.
But yeah, girls can be dressed. Does that narrow it down? That's actually a. I wonder, is there an in-game universe lore why they're dressed like that? Like I get why the creator made them, but is there an actual in-world reason?
It's because Yoko Taro likes pretty girls.
Yeah, honestly, do you actually have an excuse, or is it just like that guy from Dragon Crown? Like I just like big breasts or something.
Yeah, I don't think there's an excuse. I just think Yoko Taro was like, yeah, I like pretty girls in stockings and high heels.
Yeah. Honestly, I was like, okay, like the apocalypse happened. Was like the last building left staying in Victoria's Secret. So,
hey, I'm happy that Mr. Taro. I'm happy that Mr. Taro is at least honest about it.
Yeah.
Because you get like Hideo Kojima telling us we'll be ashamed of our words and deeds when we find out that why Quiet wears straps, nylons, and a bikini.
Yeah.
And then we find out that she breathed through her skin. So did The End, and he wore a full BDU and ghillie suit.
Or how Cortana, like it's just to distract the enemies. Like I said.
See, I think a bad excuse can be worse than no excuse.
Yeah. Fair enough. Oh man. Yeah, never. But I guess I'll have to get over it. But anyways, so query games. I'll start with my Steam library. But one that's query coded is 2064 read-only memories.
I've heard about that one.
And it had a recent sequel called it was the Read-Only Memories Neurodriver or Diver. And it's also got a couple of comic books I've read. They're pretty good. And very vibrant color scheme. And one of the main characters, Lexi the cop, is a lesbian. Yeah, and it's got a lot of progressive voice cast and stuff like that. So yeah, that's one I highly recommend, especially if you like the point-and-click adventure games. Now one I have not played, but I'm going to mention it anyway. It's because it's called Ace in Space, an asexual dating sim.
Oh, nice.
So this one always makes me think of my friend, like Ace. And yeah, this one I think it's another visual novel. Yeah, it's a visual novel. I don't know if it's just the art style or this is the general asexual art style, but yeah, it's it just doesn't really click with me. But I think I'll eventually play it one day. It's I can't relate to being asexual, but I can relate to being aromantic, which is in a similar lane. But I thought I mentioned that one, and let's see, yeah. Scrolling down here on my big old Steam library. Oh shit, this one's a fairly popular visual novel, Arcade Spirits. There's the original, and then there's the new challengers. Or this is a very charming visual novel. I think it's mostly voice acted too. And where you just had to end up getting a job at arcade, and do this couple cast of characters, and and then Arcade Spirits is like a whole other set.
I really liked the first Arcade Hearts game.
Yeah, Spirits.
Spirits, yes, thank you. I always keep calling it Arcade Hearts. I couldn't really get into the second one.
Oh yeah.
I'm a big gaming history buff.
Ah.
And eventually, the misunderstandings around the video game crash and home consoles never taking off and all that, and how it made PC gaming not really a thing either, kind of fucked me up in the second one, because like PC gaming was such a niche market, it was hardly affected by the game crash.
Yeah.
That said, if you're not completely autistic about gaming history like I am, definitely recommend it.
Oh yeah, and like, 'cause I remember this is what I play when I experimented with different streaming times, and I was like trying to stream like in the wee hours of the AM, and so yeah, so this was a nice low energy game. Yeah, and but also speaking of PC gaming, I was just we'll probably go over this in the upcoming horror podcast. But Phasmagoria, that game was like 7 CDs. Yeah, because it was like 7 gigs, even though most computers only had like a 1 GB hard drive back in '95.
Yeah, I remember having a copy of that when I was a kid, because like my mom played through it, enjoyed it, scoffed at it because I'd been a horror buff since I was 7.
Yeah.
And I laughed uproariously at a funny Friday the 13th movie. I forget what numbered one Jason does Manhattan.
Oh, it's like 8 or 9.
Yeah, where he punches the dude's head.
Yeah.
And like, I laughed uproariously, and from that moment we just watched horror movies. But Phantasmagoria streamed so much from the because computers just didn't have hard drives holding the whole game. And it's so funny how like Steam and GOG copies work with DOSBox.
Yeah, that one's gonna be a fun experience.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I have one specific favorite, like cozy queer game I want
to go for it.
To my knowledge, it doesn't have a whole bunch of controversy. Sunhaven does. What?
Oh, your mic does keep cutting off for some reason.
Ah, shit. Well, let me
Yeah, like at the end of your end of your sentence, it's like that last syllable cuts off.
Let me turn up the gain a little. And can you hear the air conditioner in the background?
Only when you speak, but it's not that bad.
Okay, so it's not bad enough to, you didn't have to turn it off.
Yeah, you don't sound like you're in a wind tunnel or nothing.
Okay. But, yeah, I think one of my favorite, like, fluffy, queer, cozy games that I didn't think I'd like, because I do not tend to like visual novels.
Right.
But I ended up liking it to the point where I bought all the DLC, even for the chapter I enjoyed the least, is Our Life, Beginning and Always.
That one.
There's a couple DLC I don't have, but it's the two other boys I was less interested in. Derek and Baxter. But basically it's like as platonic or romantic as you want it to be, but it's about growing up with your new neighbor Cove Holden with a completely customizable protagonist, to the point where you can change your pronouns between steps of life, and the game will react to it, and your parents, who are lesbians, will talk about, if you approve these options, your character's transition and everything.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, the sequel is in development now, and it's in beta, and it's taking a long time, but it's because these developers put so much work into essentially a free game with expansion DLC for each chapter.
Yeah, can't rush free.
And the DLC prices are like $2.99 for the Cove wedding story, $5 for each of the expansion chapters, where like Cove is just your best friend in that storyline, and you end up dating either Baxter or Derek.
Huh.
But the step 1, step 2, and step 3 expansions are $4 each, and I bought them over time. But the whole thing focuses around like basically giving queer people a happy experience. There is hardship, but everything always works out fine in the end, etc., etc. It's a very fluffy, happy game. But my other favorite queer game is much more fraught.
Oh, really?
And I'm saying this in jest, like, because he's one of my favorite characters in the game, because he's complicated, but he's overall a shit human being. It's deeply homophobic that Sunder is a fuckboy and you can't have a happy ending with him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that was both a trigger warning and spoiler warning. But Boyfriend Dungeon is sort of an action roguelite. Otome dating sim, where midway through development, the developers decided to expand character creation so you could have he, him, or they, them pronouns, and then added in masculine and unisex clothes, because they realized how popular the game they meant to be for women was with queer people.
Nice.
Oh,
somebody wasn't even intended to be gay at first.
Well, no, it was intended to be straight women with a lesbian option. But they started expanding it from there, and your weapon friends, there's now men, women, and non-binary people. And by weapon friends, I mean they turn into weapons and you wield them in dungeon.
Soul Eater.
Kind of. Maybe. I haven't seen a whole lot of Soul Eater. Doc keeps telling me I need to watch more of it, and I agree though. It was pretty funny.
I agree.
Soul Eater is best anime.
Right? High five.
She says high five. But another trigger warning is that the story deals with really heavy themes of like unwanted advances and stalking from a really shit-headed character, and I don't mean Sunder. But they even included like a romantic, deep platonic friendship with a guy named Pocket. He's a cat. But
Pocket pussy?
No.
Okay. That's what joke you're making.
It's the pun, but Pocket is a cat that turns into a pair of like knuckle claws. Nice. And capping off that friendship ends with Pocket declaring you an honorary cat and taking you through some kind of acid trip fever dream where you turn into a cat and follow him into some kind of enchanted cat land.
Oh dear.
And I think that was the Arrow Ace option, like, definitively. But each of the friendships with any character is as romantic or platonic as you want it to be. And just being platonic friends with Sunder turns that from, like, the most heartbreaking, gut-twisting storyline in the game to, you okay, buddy? You alright, man?
Yeah.
And it just becomes the funniest thing I've ever read.
Nice. So I got something to look forward to when I get around to that game, huh?
It's incredible. They even added an entire free DLC expansion called Secret Weapons.
Oh, nice. The Hidden Blade DLC.
Like, the paid DLC for this game is the soundtrack, an art book, and a one-page TTRPG.
Nice.
Oh no! It looks like they expanded the TTRPG. It's multiple pages.
Sweet.
But the TTRPG, it's the most expensive piece of DLC at $9.
Probably worth it.
Yeah.
Support the devs.
Oh no, it's the least expensive piece of DLC. The art book and the soundtrack are each $10.
Those are always going for that kind of price, yeah.
Yeah, but support the devs. They're the ones that helped Toady publish Dwarf Fortress for money to support his cancer treatments.
Nice.
Kit Fox Games.
That's you'll have to hear about it.
Yeah.
Okay, another game that is well, it's probably confirmed, but it seems queer coded, but then again, this is the furry community, as I don't know too much. But Atlas, and it's kind of like an up and coming like online dungeon crawler.
I have it.
You got it.
Yep.
Yep. Someone gave me a copy, and yeah, it got some vibes.
Absolutely, yeah. I don't know much about the author, but I do know they really enjoy short stack art that doesn't really have a gender distinction.
Okay, I get that. Let's see. And then we can't even talk about queer games without talking about Baldur's Gate 3.
I almost want to tolerate D&D 5th edition to replay it as a Asterion just to see the bear scene.
Oh, man. I can probably YouTube it.
But see, if I did that again, I would self-insert with my custom character and then insert myself into Asterion.
I see what you did there.
Doc's over there just shaking her head.
No, I'm laughing.
Look, you can't put an evil little vampire twink like that in front of me and not expect me to go for it. They don't call me Bear for nothing.
It's bait.
He's bear bait.
Yeah. Oh. Let's see here. But yeah, I usually go with kind of like a buff lesbian elf and date Lazelle. Yeah, everyone's on Team Karlach. Give me Laz. Yeah.
See, Lazelle was my first playthrough love interest because.
Nice.
Wait, they're acknowledging the Githyanki? What? Because they haven't done anything with any kind of planar travel and shit beyond fucking Avernum in D&D 5th edition, to my knowledge.
Yeah, like, I don't think we encountered any in Critical Role.
Critical Role is
Pretty good.
with D&D crashing as hard as it is.
Yeah, like, I watched
like-
Critical Role at least a year, so I'm not sure if the D&D's recovered or not, or Wizard of the Coast still flopping.
Wizards of the Coast is still on a downward spiral because, like, I checked last week and they've laid off even more D&D staff. Like, the D&D team is operating on a skeleton crew, and the entire staff working on the virtual tabletop for the current edition is gone. Which, not good for D&D, because
Yeah,
the virtual tabletop is mandatory.
yeah, I heard people left D&D Beyond in droves.
Yeah.
Let's see, but, at least we got Baldur's Gate. I mean, hell, even, Larry and I couldn't even stomach working with them anymore. They're like, hey, we're just gonna make some updates, no expansions, and, good luck.
Their dream game turned into a nightmare.
Oh, man, it's crazy how that keeps happening.
Yeah, old school TSR sucked. And they always tried to blame post-selling of D&D. They always tried to blame having too many settings. When you talk to Wizards of the Coast about why TSR failed, or, you know, all these settings divided the player base because players would only play in one specific setting and do nothing else. But then you comb through AD&D 2nd edition splat books and, like, dozens of unusable, like, class splat books for shit like ninja with new skills that have no practical application, like giant kite riding and shit. Like, that was the reason TSR had to sell the Wizards of the Coast.
But yeah, like, it's not just them too. Like I remember watching that documentary on Superman 64. How really it was this WB games or WB was just very petty and childish just because a small company picked up the IP, and so they basically sabotaged him. And they basically released 64 out of spite. They wanted it completely canceled.
Sorry.
It's okay. Part of the whole thing, though, is that, like, Larian isn't a small company.
Yeah.
Divinity Original Sin 1 and 2 were their breakout smash hits. But outside of the US, they're, like, the go-to for AA RPGs.
Yeah.
Like, Divinity, Beyond Divinity, and Divinity 2 Dragon Knight Saga were big in Europe. And there were like a dozen different Dungeons and Dragons games that got canceled after the Dark Alliance reboot tanked because it was awful. But yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 is queer as a $3 bill, and Asterion, well, let's hope his ass can cash the check he wrote.
I mean, did he win like a voice actor of the year or something? So
He did.
That's
he did. That boy outpaced Lestat for vampires I would do shit with.
Oh man, that's a classic one. But
I mean, Lestat is the saddest, wettest boy.
Yeah. Let's see here. Speaking of big franchises with shady companies, Borderlands. Yeah. I mean, Jedi's go for a big fun, have the out there atmosphere, but like half the cast is like a shade of queer. It's just the company has its business practices.
I don't know if there's any queer characters in the games, well, like the video games, but Mech Warrior and the BattleTech Tactics RPG by Harebrained, the Source tabletop war game and Source Mythos BattleTech is incredibly queer friendly.
Nice.
To the point where they release several Pride anthologies of short stories in the universe for free officially on itch.io every
That's good to hear.
Actually, the tag you see on my Discord name right now, SLDF,
right?
That is the official queer BattleTech Discord Star League Defense Force.
Nice. Okay, and then well, here's one with a little controversy, but only because one of the main characters is a cop. So basically, if you're not hung up about the ACAB thing, like that's a discussion. But yeah, I always say like IRL, yeah, ACAB, but usually all the good ones are actually just characters, fictional. Carl Winslow, Bruce Willis, RoboCop, all the good ones are
Columbo.
made up. Yeah. So I guess Johnny Cross is a recognition. I think it's always been free as well.
Yeah, I've got it on my computer and I haven't played it yet.
I gotta play it myself only because I have some friends who just like express, like when I brought up the idea that you play as a cop, basically the story is like he's trying to find his missing husband. And it's weird too. It's like Dark Phoenix, but it's got this like kind of like almost cutesy art style. But yeah, free queer like mystery game.
I've got a free one I can mention if no one minds.
Go for it.
Fan games of other franchises made in RPG Maker. Also, it's really hard to pitch Pokemon Reborn because it is, at least at first, unironically, like an edgy urban Pokemon game.
Oh yeah, like the Jonkler.
Like, what?
So it has a Jonkler in it?
Let me tell you about Pokemon, Batman. Now, the whole thing is, like, you think you know what kind of game it's going to be, and you know what kind of game it started development as a long time ago in the mid-2000s, when the first character you battle with is an emo twink canon, rampant bisexual, pretty boy Kane, who literally comes at you he got rewritten, actually, midway in development. He's a shameless flirt, but he is gay. And it's been so long since I played the opening of the game, but now he will only flirt with male characters. But unironically, he started out as that emo fanfic stereotype who's like, everyone thinks he's so cool and he's singing this My Chemical Romance song while he's being a hero. But like, as the game goes through development and the developers become adults and then live real lives, the game gets more and more, I won't say realistically depressing and realistically dark and brutal, but kind of meaningfully dark and brutal in ways that match shit the anime did in weirder ways.
Yeah.
Like, you remember how in the anime, Ponyta and Rapidash, they're still flaming horses, but the Ponyta trusted Ash so he could ride it.
Right. Friendly fire.
Yeah, Steel-type gym leader in the Reborn region, Titania, has that kind of relationship with her Agaslash. Um,
Okay.
and she kills several, of the evil team with it. Because the evil team doesn't fuck around and tried to drown her and her girlfriend. It's very plainly it started life as like DeviantArt tier fanfiction. But as it goes on, it becomes like a self-aware, not deconstruction, but reconstruction of the ideas present in DeviantArt fanfiction, if that makes sense. It's also like a free, challenging Pokemon game that I wouldn't say is for adults because of the story, but it's for adults because it's a Pokemon game that's genuinely difficult.
Ah.
Also, it has a badge for every type.
That sounds like a long ass game.
It is. But, it's got a lot of openly queer characters.
Yeah.
And a lot of quality of life improvements over, 2D Pokemon.
So, here's one we can recommend. Skyrim. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a nice one where you can it's romance cyber gender.
Yeah, you can have same-sex marriage in Skyrim.
Yeah, but then adopt kids and stuff, and to work with babies.
I wonder if the Stormcloaks want to repeal gay marriage.
I wouldn't be surprised. Man.
Yeah, it is like a complicated civil war, but pretty plainly, Ulfric Stormcloak himself is an ethno-nationalist, and it's not even me reaching, that's the text. If you read his dossier in the Thalmor embassy, at first he was a willing asset for the Thalmor, but when he started the Civil War, he stopped answering their calls, basically. But they still consider him a useful asset because he's weakening the Empire.
But who's your favorite marriage choice? This guy.
I use a mod so I can marry the vampire from the Dawnguard expansion.
Alright. That's not a bad choice. Everyone always goes for the werewolf chick with the blue face paint.
Ayala the Huntress is also a good choice.
It goes for her, but she always complained, It's like, oh, first the last house was too small. Now this one's got giant spiders trying to eat the kids. Blah, blah, blah. It's just...
See, I've also, last I installed, I modded the hell out of Ayala the Huntress.
Oh, yeah?
New voice lines from a sound-alike, but also, polyamory mod.
Oh, yeah.
With the expansion where you build your own house, if you build it big enough, you can have 4 spouses.
Damn.
So I had Ayala, Serena, and then 2 guys from modded companions.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Doc called them the Barum at one point.
Yes. The Barum. The only appropriate name for something.
Did you you see that freaking that story about or this guy's and his wife cheated on him?
Which story? In Skyrim?
Yeah. I think it was one from one of the ladies in in that was a water run town. The town that's on the river. Where you meet the Thieves Guild. But anyways, because he just he basically met a cute dog, and he took a liking to the dog that was wandering around, but he suddenly got self-conscious, didn't want anything bad happen to the dog. So I thought, okay, if you get a family in a house, the dog will stay there nice and safe. So he went about going through getting a marriage going just so he can get a nice home for his dog. And
Yeah.
when the wife moved in, her male bard friend moved in with them. Um, and and there was also a middle part where okay, he supposedly, so the kid's basically supposed to adopt a kid, and the kid kind of adopts the pet off yeah. So first he gets a girl, and then she immediately adopts a pet rat. Like, where the fuck did the rat come from? So he has to go find another kid who probably takes the dog in. But then he's noticing his wife's friend is yelling at the dog and stuff, and so he's like, "Oh no, this ain't happening." So he kind of waited till the friend was kind of like outside, and he was gonna. It was that one house where he got it's like near the rivers. So his goal was to just do the Yosfodas shouts and send him flying to the river, so he'd be scared off but won't die. However, he kind of misjudged the angle, and the guy hit a boulder and died. And
Jesus.
the wife just happened to see that, and it's now she suddenly started chasing him, trying to kill him, and he ran away. He's like, "My marriage is ruined. I can never return home, but my dog is safe."
Damn.
Oh man. Speaking of wives, so there's this game called Enola, which is alone spelled backwards. And it's a nice little spooky game where you save your wife from like who's really taken by demons. And it was a game that was kind of made like 10, 12 years ago. Like, it just flew really under the radar. It's a neat one. Let's see here. And then here's a classic one, the Fear Effect series.
Oh yeah, I haven't actually played those, but I've heard about them.
Basically, they're Resident Evil clones, but not horror. It's just like, did they copy the tank controls and everything?
Yeah, like you play as a mercenary team, and two of them are girlfriends or something.
Yeah, and especially the second game had a lot of CG cutscenes of them making out and stuff, which very groundbreaking at the time. Yeah, go girls. But yeah, the controls are fun. Like, unless you're used to that old school jank, it's a little difficult.
Yeah.
But I would do it for lesbian pride. Let's see. And oh man, scroll them down here. Oh, here's a big one. Called Get in the Car Loser. I actually raised someone who was playing this last night.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's got we got lesbian, people of color, we got trans, we got a bunch of girls on a fucking road trip, and it's also a pixel art style turn-based JRPG.
Nice.
It's double gay and love it. Yeah, called Get in the Car Loser.
See, I can't say this next game is actually gay.
Yeah.
But if you know, you know. Any given WWE game that actually functions, but especially the I think it's 2K23.
Okay.
Has like this wrestling RPG as the story mode.
Nice.
And there's so much homoerotic tension between your protagonist and their rivals at any given time.
Yeah.
Regardless of your character's gender. You have to admit, pro wrestling's a little gay.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're wrestling in your underwear and you gotta grab each other by the crotches and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
I mean, sometimes you gotta give the old dick twist.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta grab his dick and twist it. God, I hope I don't get you demonetized. I'm sorry, Tilly.
Oh, like I care. Oh, dang. Okay, and my last one. So this one's been out for a good minute. But yeah, Gone Home.
Yeah, I heard about it. I've never played it.
Honestly, I can say it's not worth full price, even though at 15.
Yeah.
Because it is really if you play it the long way, it's only like a 2-hour game tops, and it can be like speedrun 30 seconds. Because it's just a walking simulator, but narrative, you find like notes and stuff like that. And you
Yeah.
basically, you learn about this young girl, like high schooler age, like or college age, for like discovering herself and fall in love with her girl, how her parents react to that. All while walking around this very nice house, like one of those that's like not quite a mansion, but it's fucking huge and stuff. I mean, it's got secret passages.
Oh damn.
Yeah. Um.
Oh,
Yo.
I mentioned Pokemon because I was going to mention Cassette Beasts, which is like its own standalone indie game with some DLC. None of it really mandatory, but I did really like the Peer of the Unknown DLC.
Okay.
It's I would characterize it as Pokemon in that quote unquote capture beasties, but what you're actually doing is you're recording them with your cassette player, and then you listen to the recordings and transform into them. And every relationship in the game can be either romantic or platonic, and you don't have to be exclusive with anyone.
Yeah.
And your gender does not change any of the relation. And the first character you meet, Kaylee, you go into her room, you go into her house, and you see she has a bi-flag rug.
Nice.
Deltarune is another one that I think people are really talking about right now.
Yeah.
It is very clearly hinting at ship for 3 of the 4 chapters that are out right now. Also, protagonist and purple dinosaur girl Susie very much have a queer platonic thing going on. They are like ride or die besties, and I'm going to send you a GIF in a Discord chat that demonstrates their friendship.
Okay.
It's in the podcast chat.
Okay. Huh.
They're in juice.
They love
Juice.
Let's see here.
They're just a couple of fucking gremlins, and I love them.
So they're perfect relationship, huh? I hear your little gremlin.
I'll send you some more GIFs in DMs.
And this plays exactly like that Undertale game.
It plays like Undertale, but with a party instead of a single character.
Okay.
The battles are much more forgiving, and the movement is less janky, and you can use a gamepad.
Okay. Because I remember Undertale was a lot like Earthbound. I wasn't too crazy about Earthbound. Anyways, next game. This one. Kind of like, almost breaks my heart just because the development team is no more. But this game is called Grid Force: Mask of the Goddess. This came out, I think, December 2023, maybe. And I remember
Let me look that up.
Yeah, because I reviewed it among like 15 other games as part of the AdSpots Demo Fest. And
I remember you talking about it.
Yeah, it's made my top 4. And it's extremely queer as fuck. We got lesbians, we got trans. I mean, hell, the main character's hair color is trans flag. And lots of different representations. I love the characters. Like, yeah, I sent this review directly to the devs, and they were over the moon about it. But unfortunately, I guess the game didn't do well enough, and the company shut down. But yeah, if you like I say, you like a lot of representation, a little bit of sci-fi story, and it's a kind of tactical bullet hell RPG, much like Mega Man Battle Network. And this is
it does look like Mega Man Battle Network.
So yeah, very very unique and probably one of the queerest games I had at the time. Um, Here's an example of a game I don't really count as queer, but like Harvestella, or because they give you the option to like just make your character non-binary, but it's just like it says are you male, female, or non-binary. It's just like a pronoun. Like you don't get to change your its parents whatsoever. And there's
Oof.
nothing special about it. Nothing different happens. It's just really just the kind of like the beginning screen. There's like no
Yeah.
effort into it, and yet the anti-wokies still want to complain. Uh,
I mean, they're calling James Bond woke now because he looks like Nathan Drake in a video game. And I guess Nathan Drake is woke now.
well, that is so weird. I don't see how Nathan Drake is woke, but I think
God,
if I had to call it
I
woke, because go on.
I hate Nathan Drake and the entire archetype of protagonists that he spawned so much that I questioned my gender. But no, I don't hate being a man. I'm still a cis man. I just hated Nathan Drake and his ilk so much that I was ashamed to share a gender with them.
I call him Guy McWhite. Um, but I didn't see a problem with Nathan Drake. Like I have a pretty decent woke detector. Like I can see like okay, this is why David would complain. On either side. Yeah, like what was that one guy's name? But who did the I Like Girls music video and he got canceled for it?
Joe Cat.
Joe Cat. It's funny. It's like everyone's like, why did people cancel Joe Cat? Like this is so wholesome. I listened to it one time. I'm like, oh, I already know why the feminists got pissed. Yeah, yeah, because to them they're like I'd fuck her, I'd fuck him. If you look like that, I'd fuck you too. That's what they're hearing. It sounds like what was it, like
And then the anti-wokies got mad because he actually likes women.
yeah. Uh,
But then, like, most of the feminist movement, like, outside of specific content creators and shit, has been co-opted by TERFs at this point.
That's true. It's like if you go too far on either side, you're a nut job. Like I for my own personal reasons, I kind of started walking down like a sex negative path, just because I think I was getting too toxically sex positive. Like
Like, the,
what like because now I was making some people uncomfortable being a lewd tuber or and whatnot, but I think the straw broke the camel's back. I was watching some random video about a game coming out. Can't remember what game it was, but they were showing off the characters, and I remember becoming like extremely offended because the women were wearing clothes. So that I was immediately like, oh shit, I got a problem. So that's when I decided to go very anti-fan service for a couple of years.
yeah,
And
like, it's a balance that everyone has to strike, and especially with lewd tubers, people are discouraged from setting boundaries.
Yeah.
And, like, if you go far enough into lewd tubing where you're seeing, like, basically ASMR models using VR chat and shit.
Yeah.
I'm not blaming these women for doing it because you gotta survive, you gotta eat food.
Yeah.
But you're very encouraged to cultivate this, parasocial relationship with your viewers.
Yeah.
So that they are loyal to your product and they are handing you money specifically. And in an ideal world, you could just exist doing this stuff if you wanted to, and not have to go that far down the path to be viable.
Yeah, like I see some women like my DMs are open. Like, how do you have the energy for that? But
Yeah.
no, but you're right. Like, because leaders need to learn that it's okay to set boundaries. Like, I would tell you, like, no, you can't DM me, or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hurt. Sucks to hurt feelings, but especially if I know you're not paying, like a spender. I like no, you can't. Yeah. But yeah. So I've learned to set boundaries and I got out of the whole because actually I liked being an uptight sex negative feminist. But I realized sex negative. They're like it gets a little too negative. A lot of these sex negative feminists, they view sex workers as like subhuman. And
Well,
I'm
I
like,
mean,
there's got to be a better way. So that's why I decided to try to use my powers for good.
you even get to the point on like non-sex related furry YouTube where people are just reporting on furry drama. And you'll see someone call out some random furry because they had, lewd pictures of a loppany on their fur affinity. And then they'll go on to this screed about how, well, don't worry, I used to enjoy porn, but I recovered, so can you. And it's like, no, man, it's fine if you're asexual. Not everyone has to be.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to say it's just as bad as the straights wanting everyone to be straight, but like, because asexuals get a lot of shit from even the rest of the queer community because what do you mean you don't want to have sex? But
yeah, because I remember it's like you think it's just a teenager saying like teenagers are horny, but then you grow up and you learn no, adults are horny.
Asexual.
Yeah, it's like.
But like you also get into like the more religious end of anti-asexual bullshit, and it's like, but I thought having sex was a sin. And then it's like, no, the point of calling anything a sin in, say, Protestantism is because you're supposed to want it because the suffering is the point. And if you don't want it, then you're not suffering, then you're missing the point.
So, yeah, God embraces gooning. Oh.
Well, no, I mean you're supposed to want to goon, but be too afraid to go to hell to goon. So what you're doing is you're sitting there shivering, wishing you could goon, and that's the intent.
So yeah, damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah, I mean, for a lot of people, the point is suffering.
And that brings me to my next game. One I'm currently streaming, Haven. Gay in space.
Hell yeah.
A lot of these games.
I've heard Haven's pretty good.
Have you not tuned into my streams? That's just.
My internet back here is not the strongest, and I tune in when I can.
Yeah.
But like often doing anything at the same time as a stream will crash my Wi-Fi adapter because it's too far away from the Wi-Fi.
Gotcha. But yeah, so the game's about essentially you can be either hetero, boring, or same-sex male, same-sex female. I did the boys last year, and this year we're doing the lesbians.
Hell yeah!
You and your partner essentially they come from a society where like the government matches you up with your perfect mate. So they're like, fuck that, I love this person, and they decide to take a spaceship and flee, and then they got stranded on some random alien planet. And it's a gorgeous vista, beautiful exploration game where like you also get to fly around as well, and also got turn-based.
This looks cool.
Oh yeah, it's got turn-based RPG combat. But yeah, eventually, the government comes for you. So, and yeah, it's you got a basic choice. You want the bittersweet ending, or do you want the other bittersweet ending? But
yeah,
it's one of like essentially like kind of like the worst endings where like the government takes you back and then they mind wipe you and stick you with your prospective partners. And you guys do end up leading happy lives, but you end up passing each other in the hallway, never remember each other. That's heartbreaking. But yeah, so that's just kind of reflection of society. Okay.
Does Cyberpunk 2077 count? I know it's got lesbian relationships in it.
It does account, indeed. Yeah.
Like I know Judy Alvarez. I couldn't find a gay men relationship in it.
There might be one because I know basically like I think like it was Johnny Silverhand like rejects it every time. Like, I'll fucking hate you if you fucking him. Or something.
I do have it installed. I haven't played the DLC yet. So that soon.
Could be. Hopefully. And like some people complain that they kind of over-sexualize trans people a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I get the intent, even if it was offensive. Like the problem is on the offenders, not the offended.
Yeah.
But the intent was to show how exploitative corporations are of everyone's bodies.
Mm-hmm.
But I know there was this big controversy with the guy they hired to do the art being a really obsessive chaser.
Huh.
Yeah. Like, of the weirdo variety. But that's hearsay on my end. I didn't look too deep into it, because I got Cyberpunk 2077 on GOG as like a Christmas present one year.
Nice.
And it was one of those, gee, thanks, because I'd heard horror stories about how bad it was.
Glitch-wise, right?
Ended up getting it in time for most of the glitches to be patched.
Yeah.
Playing it and being very underwhelmed. And then when the DLC came out, CDPR announced all these patches and all these new features. And I was like, oh, cool, it's the game they said it was going to be at launch now. And then someone gifted me the DLC, so I guess I'm obligated to play it again.
Wait, if it's on GOG, haven't you send me a copy for free? Yeah. Because, yeah, it's no
with the file size, it would take me months to upload it, and I don't have a big enough cloud drive.
Okay. Yeah,
but maybe it could work something out.
I have it on Xbox One, but it's like the vanilla release.
Ugh.
Anyway.
I mean, it barely ran on PS4 and Xbox One, so.
Yeah. Back on pretty quick.
But, I know some ancient-ass games, if we can consider the PS2 ancient-ass, that, have... I don't know if I'd call Xenosaga lesbian, but it very clearly, goes into some lesbian paraphilia because Shion wants to fuck her robot. Excuse my language. Shoot, did I get DC'd? You still there, Tilly? Ah, shoot. Can you hear me, Tilly? Hello? Maybe Tilly's signal dropped.
Okay, now I'm back. Let's talk about them BioWare games.
I thought my signal dropped.
Yeah, I can't go now without peeing. So.
But before you cut out, I said, I don't know if I'd call, Xenosaga queer, but there is some hinted at lesbian paraphilia because Shion really wants to fuck her robot.
You know, I kind of get that too, but I can't really confirm on that one.
Yeah.
That was too before the gay times. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
that was when all the gay we got was hinted at in anime.
yeah. Or exaggerated, stereotyped.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I remember for a long time. Yeah, it's like you try to ask me to find a non-exaggerated stereotype like yaoi, and I'm like, I can't find shit. Yeah, so I can understand why some people were mad. But yeah,
Yaoi bait was the funniest thing ever. Like,
mm,
the kids, like these teenage boys, these muscular teenage boys in this swimming anime,
I gotta watch
screaming
that.
at each other like inches from each other's face. And then, like, the actual love interest is just some random girl that showed up.
Yeah. So in it was Bioware. I gotta first mention Jade Empire, probably the most underrated Bioware game.
I hate it so much.
Why?
Oh my god. It's written like BioWare's majority white, no Asian staff at the time looked at some random kung fu movie that they imported without subtitles and said, we can do that, but like a game and make it Star Wars.
Okay, I get that.
And then somewhere in development they dropped the bong and decided that because they were angry their bong broke, they had to tank the second half of the game.
That explains a lot. We get the combat's good, decent, and the levels, and like it's a decent game.
Yeah.
It just yeah, I get where like you're at with the whole second half gone because they should have made like a free party member system because like you get this whole big cast, but there's not enough screen time to give everyone more than one or two turns. And and so but basically one reason I praise it too is like it's probably the most evil Bioware game you can be. Yeah, it's like yeah, like Mass Effect, hold my sake, because like holy shit, the things you can do in this game, like yeah, like it was just wrong. Like freaking like you can like get like possess children with demons. You can literally kill gods. You can poison people, cripple people, and yeah, like it's fucking dark. Like you
See,
can actually enslave your party members. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and
See, my my opinions on all of these BioWare games are going to be very controversial. I'm warning you ahead of time.
that's probably not how to take a sink. But I just said,
I've never ever liked BioWare.
uh, I do kind of love them, but we'll get to that. But I just like at by the end of the basically Jade Empire, the villain looks like he's like, oh my god, we're the good guys. You must
Yeah,
be
it's
stopped.
like,
Oh,
God, yeah, that is like the one redeeming feature of fucking Jade Empire to me. It's like if you rolled up on the final boss in Wolfenstein and he looked over at Mecha Hitler and went, Hans, how are we not the baddies?
it's just yeah. But unfortunately, I guess they were too afraid to go all the way with the queerness because you can romance the same gender, but as soon as you get to like the makeout part, it fades to black. Like
Yeah,
cowards.
given the political climate in the US at the time,
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah, like I can
I,
understand how Liara got away from Mass Effect 1 because it's two hot chicks.
yeah, something I keep trying to explain to people with all of the recent Yuri bait in anime is that it's happening again.
Yeah.
This is like the yaoi inundation and the yaoi wars, except no one's batting an eye because straight white men aren't getting angry at the image of two girls kissing.
Right.
But I'm about to drop probably my most controversial BioWare opinion.
Go for it.
The two entire BioWare games that I can say I like unequivocally are the original Neverwinter Nights and Mass Effect Andromeda.
Interesting. I was not expecting Andromeda.
Mass Effect Andromeda plays really well
Oh, I agree.
after the rounds of patching it got.
Oh,
And I hate Mass Effect normally.
how come?
It is bog standard military sci-fi that tells you you're the best of the best of the best of the best, and you've been scouted for the super special agency of the best of the best of the best of the best of the best, and you're level 1 with no skills. I know that's so petty, but like everything about Shepard screams BioWare didn't really think this through. Because if you start, say, Mass Effect 1 as a soldier, you've got the exact same skill set as Private Jenkins, who dies immediately in a reference to the Leroy Jenkins meme.
Oh, okay. Leroy, I wonder how he's doing.
I will say, I have the opinion that BioWare's best game was not BioWare. It was developed by Obsidian. Obsidian kind of has a habit of Neverwinter Nights 2.
Oh, okay.
Basically because the expansion is all about destroying my least favorite part of the Forgotten Realms, the Wall of the Faithless. Which I won't go into because don't look it up. It's might as well be non-canon.
Okay.
It will ruin Baldur's Gate 3 for you.
Okay.
But yeah, Neverwinter Nights 1. Everyone really hates the original campaign. I thought it was pretty fun.
Right.
It's very blatantly meant as a you can do all of this with the creation kit because this game is built around user-generated content. And Mass Effect Andromeda is gay as hell.
Oh, yes.
Mass Effect Andromeda also wasn't written by the same team as Mass Effect, and it shows.
Yeah, I definitely see that.
Like, everyone talking about how great the writing in Mass Effect 1 through 3 is. I implore you, from the bottom of my heart, I'm going to get really close to my mic for this. I'm going to destroy everyone's eardrums, but I have to get this message across. Read a book.
The Mass Effect books weren't that great, though.
Not the Mass Effect books. Read literally any military sci-fi not related to Mass Effect. The only thing you will see in Mass Effect that isn't in most of them is the thing BioWare shoves into all of their games if they can. A lizard progenitor race who's at fault for everything going on. The only reason I like Neverwinter Nights 1, even though it does that in a setting that very definitely does not call for it, because, you know, Forgotten Realms, that's a solved issue. There was no evil lizard creator race that created humans just to enslave them. But it's just so hokey and stupid that it makes the game fun again, basically. Like, BioWare basically took a whole bunch of high-profile characters from the Forgotten Realms and made them subservient to their super special OC lizard race.
Yeah.
As the antagonists. And it's not a queer game, but you would swear that, you know, the Luskan Council of Mages are all getting raw-dogged by buff lizard men with how deep they're slobbing the knob. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Uh,
I guess I should spin off my thoughts on the BioWare games. Okay,
sorry.
already went over Jade Empire. I think it's pretty underrated. But yeah, I guess you can see why it hasn't been. That does need a remake, but hasn't got any attention since.
I will say I do like their Star Wars games better than most of their games.
Yeah, the KOTOR ones are pretty rad.
Yeah.
And I guess we'll start with the Mass Effect ones. But yeah, like they're among my favorite games ever. The universe is pretty deep. It's a good sci-fi universe. I feel
I'm
like
sorry for trashing your. I'm sorry for trashing your taste, Tilly.
Oh, it's fine. I remember because Mass Effect 2 is technically like one of the very first game I ever got on Steam. That Amnesia Dark Descent. I remember I said it was 2012 summer. The summer Steam sale, and I only had $12, and I got both those games. But I think Mass Effect 2 is still my longest hours game on Steam.
I can tell you the first game I bought on Steam, and it's kind of embarrassing.
Go for it.
Because I didn't play Half-Life until long after its actual relevance.
Yeah.
The first game I bought on Steam was Left 4 Dead.
That's a good game.
And then I didn't know it was a Steam game because I bought a physical copy and I was like, what the hell is Steam?
Oh yeah, I had it on Xbox 360, yeah.
Yeah, like I had just gotten like my first gaming computer since no longer being homeless, and I was like, what the fuck is Steam?
I feel like I got my first computer in 2007 when I was 21. And so yeah, I didn't discover Steam for like good 4 years, at least 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
So I was wondering what the fuck I was doing besides World of Warcraft. Oh, that's right. I would go to like a store like Big Lots and go. They had like a little PC games for like those $10 or something, and I would just buy like a lot of point and click adventures, installed them on hard disk. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't discover digital game until like the 2012 or something. But
God, I've been playing private servers of one of my childhood MMOs because I was not a World of Warcraft guy. I was an EverQuest 1 guy.
Nice.
Because like my uncle thought I was some crazy cracked out mastermind, but really I just really the two of us. He was my one uncle who didn't go into the military, and like I was the kid who played a lot of strategy games online with other people. So he would like recruited me to play Anarchy Online, EverQuest, and Dark Age of Camelot with him because like guys, I don't care that he's just a kid. He's this crazy. Yeah. Have I told the audience before?
Probably not the audience, but go. You told. I remember the story.
Okay. Basically, he's this crazy cracked out mastermind on 10 tons of caffeine, and he will take our PvP game to the next level. And I did, and it weirded out all his friends.
Oh man. Speaking of caffeine, the Cyberpunk Edge Runner's G Fuel is pretty good.
Nice. I just finished a bottle, like a water bottle with a dose of Blowhole Blast, fucking Gamer Sups. I hate the names so much, but like, comes 100 servings to a tub, and that's cheaper than buying a 12-pack of Monster.
Yeah.
To get 100 energy drinks, I would spend so much more on cans.
Yeah, I'll spell it right away. I got a 5% discount link on my Twitch for G Fuel, but
shoot, you're sponsored by G Fuel now.
Affiliated,
affiliated.
Yeah, got my toe in the door. But
nice.
Also, I would say like they have like a subscription service in case you just want to get like some G Fuel on the regular. But that's actually like a third cheaper. So it's like because normally tub if you add in the shipping and all that shit, it's like feels like $50 a
Yeah.
tub. But it's like literally $24. That's includes the shipping if you like to subscribe to them. And yeah, easy discount.
Yeah,
So I'd say 1 a week.
if it's going to compromise any of your stuff, you can cut out my reference to the other brand.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
But yeah, because gamer subs kind of does appeal to a lot of the dirty-minded gamers.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. I actually watch Schlatt, and you know, he actually works with VTubers,
Yeah.
which is why I started buying his stuff, honestly. But most importantly, there's 100 servings in the fucking tub.
That's pretty good. That's really good.
Yeah.
Like
Every few months I order a tub for, it costs like $50, but it's 100 servings.
Oh yeah. Let's see. I'm getting 1 a week now, so I basically kind of like I have about 4 that I just constantly rotate until like the new one gets here, and I take or replace one.
Yeah.
I don't know if those drinks expire at all. The powders.
I know I've had both tubs of Gamer Sups and tubs of Advanced GG. I haven't tried G Fuel yet. Last for roughly a year without any ill effects, but I finished them before they went longer.
Okay, and then there's also that other company, a very smaller company called Sneak. A really cute bunny logo. But anyways, back to Mass Effect. I found it their good stories entertaining. It was kind of like my first real next gen experience. And I love the stories. But yeah, like I said, Mass Effect 2 is kind of like my top 5 favorite games of all time. And I love the combat. Yeah, I like a good third person shooter. Yeah, I like Gears of War. So
I'm being hyperbolic in how much I
that.
dislike them, by the way.
Right. And I also do like a game where it's like semi-open world. We can literally just play it at your own pace in your own order and stuff. And I love games that let you make lots of decisions. So it's just so many of my favorite settings mashed into one. So the romances choices are a bit rocky. Because yeah, it's like 1 is like very limited. 2 is it's for the straights only. And in 3, although all the characters you liked before are no longer here. Let's see. So, Mass Effect Andromeda, I loved it too. But it's just a damn shame that the trilogy got canceled, so it's an incomplete story.
Yeah.
I can see where people can poke holes in the writing, because, woke detector on, I'm like, is it maybe like all the male characters either assholes or ineffective? So I could see that.
I mean, if we're looking at fucking Mass Effect 1 and 2, which are the 2 I've played.
At least I'm talking NPC, or like not the main cast, but every character you come across.
Yeah, I mean, all the male characters not named John Shepard are either assholes, incompetent, boring, or Garrus.
Yeah.
When I heard that one of the DLCs gave you a fucking God, what were they called? No, the guys that made the mass arrays or whatever they're called.
Okay, yeah, the Promethean.
Yeah, the Promethean. It gives you a fucking Promethean. I was like, nope, I'm done.
So, he's optional.
Because I don't care. Taking your own lore out back and raw dogging it in the ass to make a few more bucks on DLC is awful.
Yeah, that practice. Yeah, 3 was pretty butchered as well. It's like 2 was kind of the most complete experience.
I really liked Mass Effect 1 because of all the superfluous stuff that Mass Effect 2 stripped out. And I think that's probably actually why I like Mass Effect Andromeda.
Yeah, X2 was going for a more streamlined experience. Yeah, and Drama did have its glitches. I had those too, where I would like fly across mountains.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was nothing to complain about for me. 3 had its glitches too.
Yeah, I think the reason I disliked Mass Effect 2 compared to Mass Effect 1 so roughly is because it felt like what people kept telling me Armored Core 5 was compared to Armored Core 4 Answer. And I'm one of those, insane asshole idiots who 100% completed Armored Core 4 Answer, which is one of those games that Hidetaka Miyazaki of Dark Souls fame looks back at with shame, in his own words, because it pushes the limits of a human being able to interact with a controller as its difficulty. Essentially, people tested some of it at like top speeds you could reach in the game.
Yeah.
And they hit levels where it was like either the player couldn't keep up with the demands, or the controller could not keep up with the player inputs. Which is where you see all those Armored Core meme controller grips come from. But Armored Core 5 was, they slowed it down, it's casualized, it's so easy. And Armored Core 5 and Armored Core Verdict Day are some of the hardest games in the series on a more legitimate level of challenge than AC for Answer. And I am the biggest Armored Core diehard apologist you will ever fucking meet. I love 4 Answer, and I love 5 and Verdict Day.
Hello, apologies. Okay, but then we move on to Dragon Age. Let's see here. Everyone thinks the series peaked at the first game. So that's probably the most hardcore CRPG of the bunch.
I have to admit, the closest I've come to liking a straight-up BioWare game post, the ones we talked about,
yeah,
is Inquisition.
I like that one too.
But yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I mean that's like the second favorite for most people. I didn't really care for the difficulty spikes. But yeah, I see where a lot of the charm and why people like Origins. I always say 2 is my favorite, and even like the Veilguard fans are like, really, 2 is your favorite? That's an interesting take. I just absolutely adore 2 for the combat system. Only thing I would have changed, I would have added more maps. But I thought it had a good dramatic story. The romance was fun. Probably could have used a couple more romance partners.
Yeah, the only gay romance for men I know of is like dude turns evil if you don't romance him, and he's already an asshole.
Was there
I forget his name. Anders?
Yeah, Anders.
Oh
no, then there's the emo boy, the elf boy with the big sword. So yeah, you see, you got
I should have been able to take him out back the shed. I should have been able to take the emo out back the shed.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot put me in front of an emo twink and trust me, okay?
But yeah, definitely the emo twink. All yours, darling. And I thought it was damn good games, but like Romance of Isabella is like top tier. I noticed too is like BioWare usually has a favorite. Because if you try to romance everyone, you'll notice like most of them have like just like 2 cutscenes. It's like, hey, we've spoken for like 30 seconds now. We should fuck. But then there's like usually like one character, usually a girl, where she sort of gets like 10 more cutscenes and events to do. Like Liara was Yao's favorite in Mass Effect. Andromeda it was BB.
Everyone hated PB, but I'm like, it's just because she's not Liara. Stop being assholes.
So yeah.
She's a train wreck, and that's what makes her fun.
And Drag Age 2 is Isabella, and let's see, not sure much about the other ones, but yeah, definitely clear favorite. But at least she was a high quality favorite, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Um, and let's see here. Inquisition, I thought was also a damn good game. Just I think it was suffered from dragging on 100 hours too long. And then Veilguard. I think I was the only one who liked Veilguard.
I know one of my friends really likes Veilguard, but I just don't have money to spend on it. Otherwise, I'd try it.
Oh, I can see a bootleg link if you want.
Maybe. But I can neither confirm nor deny my interest while we're being recorded.
Oh, well. So Veilguard, like one, I could say it's not a Dragon Age game. Cause not only do a lot of things feel different, but it was mostly the dialogue wheel, which is kind of like one of the biggest appeals of the Bioware games. Because in those first 3 Dragon Ages, you could be completely evil or a jackass, and or stuff. And you can't really with Veilguard. It's literally 3 flavors of nice. Like everyone says, your least favorite character is the main character. Because normally you had nice, evil, and sarcastic. It's just 3 flavors of nice. You never say what you actually mean. What's up?
I might like that more than I liked Dragon Age 2.
Yeah.
Because I had the problem with Dragon Age 2 where I never knew exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Because the choices weren't representative of it.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like it's just the 3 flavors of nice. So I think that really and I remember a lot of people complained about the original reveal trailer, how like why is it advertised like a hero shooter because it was showing off all the characters. I'm like, okay, like I said, I can read between the lines. So basically, BioWare remembers that like half our conversations when it comes to like Mass Effect and Dragon Age, half the conversations around is like, who did you romance? Like literally, like half the time people bring this series up, and they talk about, okay, who did you bang? So this is them kind of saying, it's basically them just cutting to the point. Like basically, like, here is your platter, here's your options. Which one of these do you want to fuck the most? That's what the trailer was about, without actually saying it.
I feel like a lot of the problem people end up having with BioWare games lately, myself included, honestly, but not about the wokeness or the queers or whatever people are complaining about, is BioWare is looking at both their audience and their publisher and screaming, what the fuck do you want from us? Because they have a very clear story they want to tell.
Yeah.
But the gamers are their main demographic. Yeah. And their publisher wants them to appeal to the gamers, but they very clearly don't hold those same opinions because they, want to write stories instead of, whatever you'd call it when, all of your beliefs are confirmed and affirmed, and you're told that anyone not just like you is very evil and gross. Their very existence is destroying the world, except we're going to say this isn't, a Nazi ideology or anything. We're going to make this game Chad versus the woke Nazis. Which, I hope every storefront pulls because it has AI-generated CSM in it.
What's CSM?
Child materials.
Oh. Ew.
Yeah. If I remember right from the expose, it was portrayed as an admirable thing for Chad, the unwoke savior, but for, they say that we queer people want to do that. So
No.
yeah,
I'm not too hung up on the AI saying, but freaking what lollies are no.
they ain't got junk in the trunk, and
No.
boy, guy or girl, I'm looking for someone who's got that booty.
Like I said, I feel bad because basically, like, what people really want is short stacks, but the people mistake that for young age. No, we just like short stacks,
See,
aka the goblin community.
yeah, like someone can be in their like late 50s and still have, massive boobs and a massive ass, and be 4'4".
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's like they say short height equals young age.
God,
It's like I'm
we're
39 and I'm 5'2", but I might as well be 12.
like, I mean, were you in my chat when those, I guess, Tumblr anti-shippers were yelling at Doc and I because Doc said that she was pretty short? And,
No.
yeah, they decided that she couldn't consent because she was short, and they,
Oh yeah.
begged us to stop assaulting each other or whatever. Do you remember that, Doc? She's playing Minecraft.
Oh, that's fine. What they're building.
No.
I guess you weren't watching chat.
But no, yeah, because like even someone as popular as oh shoot, what's her name? Spicy Latina that hangs out with Melody. Who made streamer of the year.
Iron Mouse.
Yeah, Iron Mouse. Like even she's literally gone on a record saying like, I try to date people because I'm so short. They're like, they look at me and they say, "You're like a kid to me." It feels weird, So yeah, I feel bad for short folk. But anyways, on to next game. But before once again, like Dragon Age Veilguard, essentially, so when I say it's not Dragon, they should have just called it the Veilguard and given us Dragon Age 4 for the Dreadwolf. But I was like, I kept joking, like, this is a win-win for me because either we're going to get a true-to-heart Dragon Age game or a AAA budget woke game. And so I was like, that's a win-win for me, And hell, it's a big one for black representation too, like the hair and everything. But yeah, on to our next mainstream. What's up?
The whole get woke, go broke thing is a fallacy because like anything that fails, they'll cherry pick reasons it's woke.
Yeah.
And like Baldur's Gate 3 is my favorite example. Like, this game's gonna tank, this game's woke, you can be gay, there's black people, it's woke.
Yeah.
And then when it comes out, and it's a smash hit, and it's the biggest hit Larian has ever had, despite, like, not being a tiny, struggling studio or anything.
Yeah.
10 reasons Baldur's Gate 3 is secretly the least woke game of all time.
Oh yeah, like these bad faith commentary channels that'll backpedal on certain stuff. Like I remember, they're like when X-Men '97 was coming out, and like, oh, it's woke. Look what they're doing to these characters and stuff. And then it comes out, and everyone's praising it like it never was bad to begin with, because it never was bad to begin with.
Yeah.
But anyways, next to speaking of mainstream, Life is Strange. That's a nice KMS.
I've heard it's really good, but I'm not like a huge fan of adventure games in general.
Yeah, it's
and
adventure,
I think
it's also very narrative with the choices that matter. So helping that person could fuck you over in the next chapter or something. One of those type of stories.
Admittedly, I've got nothing against it. I think that just the style was ruined for me by never liking any of the Telltale games I played.
Fair enough, yeah, because it did come out in Telltale's heyday.
Like, I'm sure Life is Strange is probably honestly better than most of what Telltale put out. But, like, looking at Telltale's library and their choices sometimes. Everyone tells me how great The Wolf Among Us is, but
Yeah. That's probably my favorite of them.
it is unfortunately unfinished, but I've also read the comics that it's based on.
Yeah.
Unlike the dude who gifted me the game and talked up how much he liked the comics and how accurate the game was to them, and like some aspects are accurate.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's just every now and again something has those inaccuracies you just don't want to put up with.
Let's see here. Wolf Among Us, like, not necessarily fish. It's kind of like you kind of one of those like where you can leave it here, or you can take the little plot hanger twist ending. But it still felt like you did have a complete experience.
Okay.
Yeah, it didn't feel like you had unanswered questions.
I
Except for like that one saying, but even then it's like, what?
I might give it another shot then, because I
Yeah.
did really like the comics and they tended to be a lot
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. Yeah, like literally, I said, even though it has that little cliffhanger bit, it's not unsatisfying. Yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah,
Right, I'll take your word for it and give it
Yeah.
another chance.
So it's like one of the only games I own on like 4 consoles or something. But
Oh damn.
yeah, it's cheap. And Life is Strange too. Yeah, I think it was those games like it was like what, $5-10 an episode. Episodic gaming. Remember that phase?
God.
No one does that anymore.
See, there's 2 different episodic series of the same franchise on PS2 I really like, because each chapter is the length of a full fucking game.
What,
But
Fantasy Star? Or Dot
no,
Hack?
Dot Hack, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's not a queer game. That's off topic.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, so like the first game example, I give essentially there's lesbian themes to it, yeah, it's a adventure game where choices really matter, and shit gets real in the second half, and also it's like a kind of a little bit like a butterfly effect type of thing. That's right, there's butterflies all over the same marketing, and
Yeah.
but yeah, they got that little. In each game, you get kind of like a power, like a superpower sort of thing. Like,
Yeah.
wind time. Case, like, are you sure you want to go with that decision? Like, the game makes it really like, are you sure? You know, and sometimes you gotta be really observant, otherwise, there could be consequences. So that's kind of your vibe. It's still a pretty good game. And let's see. And then so your second one, yeah, it's about 2 like Mexican boys, and the third one's about an Asian lesbian, which I'm if I have time I might play for Pride Month, but there's a couple in front of it. I read a prequel before the storm. I think that was the only game I technically ever pre-ordered. So yeah, the only game I pre-ordered, and it was just like sitting there on the PlayStation for like several days until it unlocks. But became a big Ashley Birch fan straight from that, and now the recent one, that was some stupid fucking marketing decisions. Like paying extra $30 to get the game like 2 weeks early and shit like that, and
Yeah.
hence it became like the lowest selling Life is Strange game. Like, oh, you just fuck this series, thanks. But yeah, so if you like a little supernatural twist and like the choices matter type of mystery game, yeah, pretty good stuff. Let's see.
I have a quick recommendation for the traditional JRPG fans.
Go for it.
Beloved Rapture.
I've heard this one.
I will say it does have some problems. Some characters are a little underwritten. I don't quite agree with my friend's entire entire review of it. One of my friends didn't really like it, but
Yeah.
they're also the one who bought it for me.
Huh.
But I agree with them that some characters are underwritten, but it's a game where a lot of aspects in the writing of the other characters went by the wayside to focus on the central relationship between two gay young men. So it also fumbles some of its political themes about occupation and genocide.
Mm-hmm.
But as bad as that sounds, I think it's like 6.57 out of 10 game.
Nice.
It's definitely beautiful and the soundtrack is incredible. It's a game where good intention got ahead of developer skill.
Yeah. Let's see here. This one I don't know. This one I can't quite confirm, but just based off the trailer, I think this might be a recommendation. It's called Moonglow Bay, and it's basically one of those cozy games where like cause I think I saw like a same-sex couples options where basically you and your partner get like a houseboat, and you get to it's a Minecraft art style too, and you get to basically just like you go on fishing trips, you know. And so it looked very cozy core. So that's a quick recommendation.
I haven't played it, but another cozy core game that a friend of mine really loves, that is very queer, is Coral Island.
Ah. Yeah, like
I will say if you've watched Blue Eye Samurai, I think the artist might be one of the concept artists on it. So because a lot of characters have who are Asian have very I can't really explain it without spoiling anything, but a lot of characters who are Asian or Celtic have very similar faces to Blue Eye Samurai characters.
I should watch that.
And especially with Charles, it's so off-putting because he looks like a very evil character from that show, but with like big goofy derp face. Like he looks like a puppy crossed with the villain of season 1 of Blue Eye Samurai in a way that terrifies me.
So I'm like saying like, am I still subscribed to Netflix? Okay, maybe I can watch that. I've been watching a lot of YouTube lately.
Yeah, I get you. Stardew Valley is one of the classics. You can marry anyone regardless of gender.
Yeah. With Stardew and Core, like, cause I know Core like had a nice variety of like you can even like marry a woman who has like pregnancy stretch marks. But like
what game?
Core Island. But what game was? Oh, sorry. I recently tried playing Animal Crossing: New Horizons, and yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Sorry, my cat just my cat just jumped up on my lap forcefully, and he is a Maine Coon. Ow!
I recently tried playing Animal Crossing: New Horizons, and that kind of like scared me off like gardening games for a while. So yeah, I've been like I guess unfairly avoiding like Coral Island and Stardew Valley and other games. Yeah.
A way to save your Animal Crossing New Horizons experience is don't listen to the purists and time travel to complete your early shit really quickly.
Yeah,
and by time travel, I mean disconnect your Switch from the internet and then change the clock.
But like, yeah, I was like, this is like, it's just an outdoor chore simulator, and everyone's way too nice. Like, I'm waiting for your shoe to drop. You know,
it's really relaxing once you get your island up off the ground. Like, it's just a place to hang out and vibe.
Yeah. Oh, okay, quick bathroom break.
Ready? Have fun, don't drown. And stuff.
Okay, so these two games are not necessarily queer in the normal sense, but I feel they're like kind of all about like self-expression.
Yeah.
Yeah, like RKGK and No Straight Roads.
Hmm.
Because both of them are like like the man's trying to oppress us and we can't like express ourselves, and so they're very
Yeah.
high energy, like neon colors. No Straight Roads, like more a little more cartoonish, very, but yeah, you'll find like the trailer like very upbeat. That one guy leans more
Yeah.
towards music, whereas RKGK is more towards like graffiti and techno. Yeah, and
Yeah.
so I had to do with platforming and stuff like that, and some action with with the mini games. But yeah, very high energy. Um,
As a warning, we may need to wrap up soon. I have not eaten since lunch, and I am very hungry.
okay, I
Um,
could save some games for next year.
but we could always record a part 2 before the end of the month too.
Okay, oh yeah.
Or
Let's
that much Otis.
see here.
But I do have I did have another recommendation, but it just flew out of my mind. Um, Words come back to my mind. Um, it's not like traditionally gay, but it's the same way that a lot of anime style, um, very close male friendship feels gay.
Oh yeah.
Um, and also, not a happy ending game, so I recommend it with some caveats.
Final Fantasy
Um,
Tactics.
no. Friends of Ringo Ishikawa.
Oh, okay. I've been hearing about this one.
You go into it expecting, River City Ransom.
Yeah.
You leave emotionally devastated.
Oh man.
Another couple games I recommend with caveats because they are explicitly queer games,
Okay.
but they are also political horror, and I'm plugging them because they're made by a friend of mine
Oh.
who has. Well, I don't know if I can talk about that. Maybe for part 2 before the end of the month, I'll
Yeah.
ask her if I can talk about her upcoming thing.
Okay.
But my friend, let me remember what the name of her studio is. Give me a second here. But my friend and I beta tested the first game I'm about to mention, An Outcry. You play as a non-binary protagonist in Vienna, Austria. Developer is listed on Steam as Quinn K.
Yeah.
And it's political horror meant to dissuade people away from being dismissively centrist about their politics. Just go along to get along. Gets more people killed than not.
Yeah.
Um,
Love a good brainwashing.
well, it's not really a brainwashing so much as ignoring what's going on around you because you have the privilege to.
Right.
But it's a very good, very harrowing game. And one of her other games on Steam that also very good, also very harrowing. Is There Swings a Skull about an older gay couple, and the Steam tagline is Enter the doomed town of Paradius. Watch as the flames turn to bone and stone. Watch as the flames turn bone and stone to ash. Like joined wicks will all burn together. And it's about a gay couple. And it's very, very political, but very queer at the same time, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And her upcoming game, Blank Sword, is listed on Steam, so I can say it looks very cool.
Nice.
And Quinn herself is a trans indie game dev.
Fuck yeah. Okay, so I guess final 3 games, because I guess I'm just gonna finish up my Steam list on this episode.
Sorry.
So, but yeah, I got games on GOG, Epic, Itch, and other sources. But yeah, but I got 3 left here on my Steam list. First one I would say is Sea of Solitude. Now this one, not sure if it's technically queer, but I remember during where a lot of players, especially trans folks, say this game helped them come out or find themselves. This game meant a lot of people meant a lot to trans players.
Yeah.
And as well as beautiful, basically the world's kind of flooded, and it's very artistic and stuff. And so this game looks right up my alley. And then we got a game that's got a very on the nose title. Let's see, it's the Super Lesbian Animal RPG. And yeah, it's it's kind of the same thing as getting the Carnal Loser. It's very memeable, very, very gay coded.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I have heard it's very good.
Yeah. Pretty good stuff. And then last one to talk about, which I will be streaming this Tuesday, is called Stray Gods.
Oh yeah, I keep meaning to play that.
Yeah, this came out last year. It kind of common, kind of fell off the radar.
Yeah, I'm not super huge into visual novels, but it's also a musical, and I'm big on musicals.
Yeah, I figured.
I don't know if anyone knew I'm a queer man.
I mean, your arm, and so, but yeah, so it's it's a story based game. I usually don't call them visual novels because what I call a visual novel is usually kind of those Japanese ones that are just all text, all scrolling all the time.
Yeah.
I like the ones where you get to learn make a decision every 5 minutes or so. And stuff like that. The very interactable ones. Because I've had those visual novels where I ain't touched a fucking button in 35 minutes. It's just.
I tried to play Fate. I tried to play Fate Stay Night, and it was like that.
Oh yeah. It literally was just kind of it was like watching a still anime without voice acting. It's so yeah. There's only 3 of those, 3 visual novels I could really recommend. That I consider visual novels. I call these, I don't know, interactive stories. But yeah, Stray Gods, it's lesbian centered, and it's also got an all-star cast, Laura Bailey as the main singer. And yeah, I see it's the Greek pantheon, most of the main characters are a god from the pantheon. And essentially, your girlfriend or wife dies, and you gotta find a way to get her soul back or something, or help her pass on. While singing, so I'm very interested when I get to that on Tuesday.
I've heard it's a lot.
Yeah, I heard it was very strong, so I'm quite interested. Well, I guess I go a little off topic, but I've had told you about the game Sweet Fuse.
You have not.
Okay, so this is probably probably my favorite visual novel. And I can see why it went under the radar because it's exclusively on PSP and Vita.
That's why.
Yeah. But yeah, the plot is You played a niece of KJ Inafune. Yeah, that KJ Inafune. It's just, yeah. And essentially implies, like I say, you're his niece, and you go to the opening of his video game theme park, or a grand opening, and poor KJ can't catch a break because even in his own game, because did terrorists take over the place, and they essentially kidnap you, and you basically, it's one of those visual novels where you play a girl with like 5, 6 attractive guys that you'll fall in love with through the events. Because he basically he turns all like the rides and attractions to basically kind of like, like Saw traps and stuff, like now they're all deadly, you know, like those zombies that in the horror attraction would actually attack you or stuff like that, are those booby traps? They're real, yeah. But
given that this is like a game about Keiji Inafune, at least to an extent.
Yeah.
If Capcom ever lets him work on a Mega Man X game again,
yeah,
I demand he turn it into a dating sim where the rides turn into fucking Maverick levels, and the order you tackle them in it changes who you hook up with at the end.
Yeah, like I can go deeper into it. Yeah, but it is such a it is a wild well read for sure. But I just had to throw one out there. But yes, I guess we'll do a part 2 at some point. But and I also had a little slideshow on the overlay too. Just let you show off like more games. But yeah, it's like I said, I'm surprised. Not many people know about not a lot of these games. Because queer games, I would like I often say because I would have just stayed like a retro gamer. Maybe like PS3 would have been my last gen, but then I noticed what kept me in the now is I noticed like now we're finally getting progressive, ism in our games. We're finally getting some diversity, so that's what's kept me around with modern gaming. And these last 5 to years plus, we've got a lot, and so I got a huge list of just gaming. I got a huge list of people for color, for women that aren't sexually like objectified. Next month is Disability Pride Month. I don't got enough for like a full month, but I can recommend a few. Like I've done my research.
I'd be interested in those ones.
Yeah. Like my sister who makes Tilly models is legally blind.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. And I think it's a nice little tribute to her. I'm going to be playing this game called Perception. I got on Nintendo Wii, Switch, but I'm sure it's probably other stuff. Where you actually play a blind woman, so you kind of have that, like, blind sense, kind of like Daredevilish, as you're trying to wander around this unknown house. While, like, scary ghosts try to get you, but it's also one of those accessibility option games, so you can just turn off the ghosts and have more of a narrative experience instead of a stealth experience.
Makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, and yeah, so it's a good time to be alive, in terms of diversity. So yeah. See woke and cope. Yeah, to the haters. But yeah, happy Pride, darlings.
Seethe and put your copium mask back on, haters.
Oh yeah, we're here, we're queer, we ain't going anywhere.
It's always morally correct to choke slam a transphobe into a dumpster.
True. Oh man. But yeah, happy Pride, y'all, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Happy Pride, keep it gay, folks.